should be good. Hello? Hello. Welcome to the Portage Curling Club. This is the 5 and under. This is a quarterfinal first event game. And the game is between Stevens Point, the Point Prodigies, and they'll be throwing the Yellowstones, and Kettle Moraine, the Red Bucket Brigade, and they'll be slowing the Redstones. Playing lead for Kettle Moraine is Faith McGovern. Second is David Wagoner. Third is Tony Peters, and the skip is Pete Tomes. For the Point Prodigies from Stevens Point, the lead is Jerome Meredith. Second is Chris Lefebvre. And third is Dave Call, and the skip is Roy Wysocki. So with that, the game is off, and the Red Bucket Brigade has the hammer. And Point Prodigies throwing their first stone. And it leaks into the house, a little bit on the left side there. And Kettle Moraine looking to keep the house clean, start the first end. Point looking to put another stone in the center. See if we can get a guard here and start some offense in the game. And that's a well-placed guard. I don't know if that leak in. Nope, that looks like it's good. So announcing today's game, my name's Steve Duberstein, member at the club here. And with me is Mark Curtis. His family has been involved in our curling club for, oh my God, 100 years. Almost 100 years now. Mark is the son of Robert J. Curtis, known as Doc Curtis. And if any of you are familiar with the Curtis Cups for sportsmanship, played at and handed out at major competitions, that's all sponsored by the Curtis family. All right. So Point looking to draw behind their center guard now. Calling for the sweep, coming in nicely here. Going to bump a little bit. Knocks it out kind of underneath the corner guard. Can get at that one with an out turn, but a little bit difficult. So Kettle Moraine looking to draw underneath that corner guard. And that stone that just was thrown in the house by Stevens Point. Yep, looking a little bit light.
The ice looks like it has some good swing to it.
Yeah. Our ice here in Portage has been curling about 4 to 5 feet the whole season, and including for this Bonspiel. And Roy Wasecki, the skip for Stevens Point, is calling for a draw around here. He had his broom set for about 4 feet of curl to get around this yellow guard. And he just might tick it a bit. Yeah, he ticked it just a bit. All right, so Kettle Moraine boys, Kettle Moraine team, I should say. The Red Rocks looking to do a hit and roll here. They can hit and roll underneath one of those guards. Looking a little wide though. And just flashed to the left. So the winner of this Bonspiel, this 5 and under, becomes a qualifier for the USCA 5 and under national championship. If the winner has already qualified, then it'll go to the spot will go to the runner-up. Once again, looking to draw behind the guard. And looking a little wide. Push the other one back, and just out of the house. So Kettle Moraine, the Red Bucket Brigade, needs to remove this stone, roll in, try to get shot out of this. Come in, get a hit. Not any roll, just a hit, straight up hit. Okay, so Roy, skip for Stevens Point. Gonna play this same shot. Get a hit and maybe get a roll underneath. This is kind of a game of hit and roll at this point. The only issue is, Mark, is that every time you do this, you back it up. Now, he was outside there, so he didn't make it, but every time you do it, you back the stone up. So pretty soon the roll is not going to be shot anymore. But that one flashed. So, Kettle Moraine looking to draw in, but they're a little heavy with their draw. Went out the back of the house. And we're kind of into the same situation we were 2 shots ago. Back once again. We're down to skip stones. Raiwaseki of Stevens Point. And head down to the other end and see if he can get a hit and roll on this red stone. Got some weight, says the line's good. Looking a little bit outside. Yeah, we're going to hit and roll off. Not all that bad of a result. There's Stevens Point, Point Prodigies still sitting 1 buried. But this gives a relatively straightforward draw for Kettle Moraine down to the 4-foot. Skip's deuce is still in play here. Skip being able to, Skip makes both their shots, they can still score 2. Got to be careful not to hit the yellow one here. You don't want to knock the yellow one in. Oh boy, that might be what's going on here. Got to be careful. Yeah, ended up knocking the yellow one in. That's the risk with playing that shot, is if you're narrow, you can knock your opponent's stone in. So I think they're going to look at just guarding this up and forcing a draw to the 4-foot. Taking more broom here. You're looking at this every in the rings. Each ring is 2 feet. So when you see his broom, the tee line there, he's showing he's calling for a little over 5 feet of curl with that broom. And they're discussing the time, what we call the short time, with a stopwatch between the back line and the hog line, calling for a 3.75 seconds as a guard. Oh boy, he's pretty wide too. It's going to leak in here though. And they're going to end up sitting 3. And the Red Bucket Brigade from Kettle Moraine, Skip Peter Tomes, he's going to have to shoot against 3 here. And it looks like he's going to call for the hit and stick or hit and slight roll for 1. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's playing the draw. I thought he was playing the hit. To be careful here. He might leak through. Gonna need to hit something. Oh, it's gonna leak right through. Okay, so that's gonna be a score of 3 for Stevens Point. Making the score, Stevens Point Prodigies 3 and Red Bucket Brigade Kettle Moraine nothing. But they will retain the hammer for the second end. So there are 8 end games. There's a tie after 8 ends. There's no extra end. They skips each throw one shot to the button for the win. It's to help keep things on schedule. We have a tight schedule with so many teams playing. All right, we have a repeat of last end here with Stevens Point throwing a shot to the center, and he's looking for a guard. He's going to get his guard. It's going to be a little bit short. Well, that's nicely placed. That's a very good guard. So Kettle Moraine looking to draw behind that.
A lot of teams are choosing to come behind those center guards these days instead of throwing them to the outside.
Yeah, I think that's a really tough shot for a lead too. It's a tough shot because you have to make it almost perfect for it to be useful. And if it's behind the tee, like this one is, it's going to go all the way out. So the rock isn't, you don't get any use out of the rock. But in order to make that shot work, you have to essentially get it buried behind the other rock above the tee. And that's a tough shot. That's a tough shot even for the best players. So now we're going to see a repeat of the same thing. This is Jerome Meredith throwing lead stones for point. Going to draw behind, playing that same shot. And it looks like it's also going to go probably right out the back here. Yep. We have pretty quick ice here in Portage this year, especially this year. In curling terms, our ice is 14 seconds or better. That means 14 seconds hog to hog for a draw to the tee line. And that's pretty quick ice. Sometimes teams coming from other clubs, their ice is slower, have a little trouble adjusting when the ice is quick. This is curling pretty hard. And it's going to tick this other rock. And just a biter now. A biter now for the Point Prodigies here. They're going to look to draw underneath again. They're drawing underneath their opponent's rock, but that's fine. Calling for a little over 5 feet of curl. This is coming in nicely. This is coming in very nicely. Might over curl just a hair, stick out the other side. And yeah, it's sticking out the other side just a little bit. But behind the tee. So, Peter Tomes of Kettle Moraine calling to draw down to that rock. This is second, David Wagoneer's first shot. It's cutting pretty hard here, Mark.
Looks like it's going to take.
Yeah. As far as the B shot goes, that's pretty good though, because that opened everything up. With the hammer, you tend to want to have your rocks played to the side, and they essentially have a pair of corner guards now that they can draw behind, and there's enough curl on portage ice to get behind those. So calling for a shot to the top 8. That'll leave a double. And it's going to go a little past that. End up in the back 12. Yeah. Still a double, just a different order than what we were talking about, so. So Peter Tomes is calling for a hit and roll here, hit and roll behind the corner guards. And I think that's the best shot that they have here. Toss that one out a little bit. Right when he threw it, he kind of pushed it outward just a bit. Let's see if he can make make contact here, but I think he's going to roll out though. Yeah. So Stevens Point, with the Yellow Rocks still sitting 2. They're leading the game 3-0 after one end. Playing the second end now. And going to call for a guard. Play some more offense here. Put a guard up front and look to draw behind that. Now they get to draw behind, they can draw behind that, but the other team can draw behind it too, which is what I would expect them to do because they need points. This one looked like it got tossed out pretty wide. Needs to come back. And it's out there pretty wide, out in the weeds, as we say. But he's going to end up in the house. Puts more and more pressure onto Kettle Moraine's team here because now they have 3 rocks. 3 rocks in the house for Stevens Point. They're going to need to hit and roll. Hit and roll one way or the other. Get behind one of the guards. This shot looks better. Closer to being on the broom. And they have to go on this one hard. Might get the roll on this one. Nope, didn't get any roll. So, Stevens Point will look to remove that rock. Oh, he's looking to tap it. That's interesting.
I like this one better.
Always have to make the decision on a wide open take like that, whether you're going to throw it the in-turn or the out-turn. And oftentimes Skip has a preference, but they ask the players to which would they prefer. It's always interesting to see.
Well, he's coming down looking to try to make this tap here.
Yep. Fine. Oh.
He did just that.
He did indeed tap it back. The downside of that shot is essentially if Kettle Moraine here can make a hit and roll on this, they'll be sitting 2. Whereas if he would have taken it out, there would have been 2 Yellow Rocks in there. Oh, got to be careful about the jam here. I think you'll miss the jam, but he's going to roll out. And that leaves these Kettle Moraine still sitting 1. So Roy Wysecki of Stevens Point, throwing his first skip stone, going to look to remove that red rock. Still a 2 in play for Kettle Moraine. If he makes this shot, he'll be at the. If he sticks around, he'll be in the back of the house.
Line's good. Maybe a touch wide. Drill. Push it over. Come on, bud. You got it.
And oh boy, was a little bit wide on that shot there, Mark. And
Didn't come up much.
no, it didn't. Yeah, no, they were trying to directional sweep it, but it was too far out. Hard to directional sweep. It's easier to hold line with directional sweep than it is to push rocks over with directional sweep. So now there's a potential 3 in play here. For Kettle Moraine, so you can see there. So Peter Tomes, try to draw behind the guards. Drive behind the guard on the left side. Pair of guards. And if you can get behind that, it's going to put a lot of pressure onto Stevens Point. So it looks like it got tossed out kind of wide. And looks a little heavy here too.
Looks a little heavy.
No, it's checking up. It's starting to check up to see. No, that's going to go through. That's unfortunate.
They've been throwing down that same path.
Yeah.
And it's let the stone slide a little bit.
In any case, Kettle Moraine, the Red Bucket Brigade, with the red stone still sitting 1. So Roy Wasecki of Stevens Point is going to look and try. Looks like with that broom, Mark, maybe just hack weight, push that red walk out.
Yeah, I think he's throwing it wrong.
Yeah, it's look like instead of he's looking to draw behind the corner guard. I think you're right. Yeah.
Because he saw the other fellow get a little bit wide, didn't curl, so he's
Yeah.
on narrower road. Interesting call, but he won't hurt himself if he hits the red one. He's just going to push his yellow one on. So. And if he gets a little heavy, then he's back on top of the back red.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of playing the all-point shot here.
It's the more aggressive of the calls, other than instead of just removing that back one. Because then he can end up being a scoring rock. Now, coming down pretty hard.
Bumped on the red one.
He bumped on the red, and boy, it's hard to tell here. It looks like yellow 1, red 2. Would you say?
That's how I read it.
So if he can hit that yellow one right on the center line and move that out, he can score a deuce.
Down 4. Note this one.
Yep, that's what they're looking to do. Go ahead and bump that yellow one right in the middle there. See if they can get their 2. A lot of weight. A lot of weight. It's got to come back quite a ways. Well, went right through the hole. Probably a little more weight than you'd want to throw on that particular shot. So that'll be a score of 1. For Stevens Point, making the score Stevens Point 4, Kettle Moraine 0. At the end of 2. So 3 ends in a row with the hammer for Kettle Moraine.
Am I down here?
Oh, okay. Some adjustments on our audio here. So with that, we've got the Point Prodigies once again putting up a center guard. Center guard meaning they want to, in curling we say stay on offense, they want to keep trying to score. So the thing is here, when you're behind by 4 and with hammer, behind by 4, you really need some guards. You need some guards to draw behind, some of your own guards. This is this call can get your shot rocking if you can get behind that corner guard with your first shot, and you'll be in good shape. But it'd be better to leave this one above the house. This one leaked into the house. So Kettle Moraine's going to look to hit that, get rid of it. They're up by 4. If they can see a rock in the house, typically they're just going to hit it and get rid of it. That's a way of protecting a lead. And end up peeling their own guard here.
And up by 4, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot. That when you're up, you don't really need any guards. Unfortunately, that rock rolled over as a guard, as a corner guard, which is somewhat to the advantage of Kettle Moraine, the Red Rocks, because they can draw behind that. They're electing, I think, here to go ahead and draw behind. They're electing to draw behind the one they have, their rock that's in the house. And that'll kind of set up a takeout game. So I think they were looking to draw behind that guard, but they might that red one, Mark. But I think they're going to end up behind the corner guard. It was actually a better shot.
It was
the B shot. That's pretty good. Not quite buried behind that corner guard, but
it's on the rings, and that's what they need them. They don't need them up front, too far up front, and they certainly don't need them behind the hog line at this point.
Yep. Need to get more behind that guard on the left. So now we're in a game of takeout with Stevens Point. Point Prodigies just trying to remove stones here. They'd like to stick around if they can. And they're sticking around with a biter there, right at the edge. Well, it's still red sitting in there. I like this shot. They're going to come down. They can either bump that red one a little bit, or if it's short, it'll end up being another guard. And then that rock will be well protected, and they can set up getting 2 or 3. A little bit light. Don't want to let this over curl. You want it as a guard on that back one. Kind of want to get off here. Just let it guard that back one. And not quite the guard there. Yeah, and that's what they're saying. They're saying they can see half. So they're going to go after it. Probably would have been better to stop sweeping that red one and leave it a bit higher so it would have been a guard, because it wasn't going to make it. Oh, he's sweeping this one hard. Looking pretty good, though. Oh. Swept a bit too much.
The brooms were more than necessary in that one. And again, with the 5 and under players, it's still a learning curve, and it's interesting to see the sweeping abilities seem pretty good at this level, and they're bringing the stones a long way.
They're calling the same shot again here, Mark. Come down, tap that one a little, or go ahead and guard it up, and works too. But they'd really like to tap it. They need points. So this is a nice shot. That's a nice shot. Yep. So now that one in the 12 foot in the red ring, that's pretty much buried. So now comes the decision. Do you want to go ahead and take that red one out, that one in the white in the 8 foot circle? Or do you want to come down and kind of sit on it in that pocket?
It's got a ways to curl.
Yep. The sit on it in the pocket is the better shot if you can make it. And they didn't make it, but they did take that red out of play. So they took one out of play as far as being a scoring rock. But kind of guarded that one in the back too. And kind of interesting, Mark, they're looking like they're trying to draw behind that again.
That's what the call was.
Yeah.
See if they can get there.
That's a tough shot. And you risk bumping something you don't want to bump here. And that over curled.
Well, they're going to keep trying until they make it, I guess.
Yep. It's at this point that's probably the only that's the only real shot that I think they have. They could put it out in the open and make for a hit game for 2. But if they bump this, they could bump this into shot. It kind of depends how it hits here. That's going to roll into shot.
So now Kettle Moraine's going to have to be real careful. If they go after that, they can roll and bump their shot rock, their second shot out.
There's a double here where they could be sitting 3. Be careful not to go through the hole here. Well, they might get the double. No, hit their own. Still looking good for a deuce here, Mark.
They still got the possibility in.
Yep, they got to make the shots, but having a discussion here whether they want to draw down to it, which is the same shot they just played. Or maybe draw into the open. They're going to draw down to it again.
If they can get in front of it, that's a pretty good shot.
To be a good shot though, they have to be shot.
Well, they can.
If they're short, then they're just leaving a draw to the other side to set up a deuce. Roy Wasecki, skip of Stevens Point, Prodigies, with his first rock. Looking to draw down. And sit shot, pretty much frozen on the Kettle Moraine rock. Tough shot. That's a tough shot. Oh, he's looking pretty good here.
A dandy stone.
Oh, that's a beauty. Not quite frozen, but it's gonna mean Kettle Moraine needs to play a very accurate shot in order to be sitting 2. I think, Mark, they got to be careful about their weight here. You don't want to be throwing what we call normal takeout weight. You'd rather have a more controlled takeout weight, a little softer takeout.
It's got to work itself over there.
Yeah, that allows you to sweep it into place, and then it'll keep your shooter around. And if he hits this on the outside, he'll run the yellow into red, and then they're in a bit of a world of hurt.
Very important down 4 stones to save as many as possible.
That's a nice weight. That's a nice weight. It's got a curl though. Oh, maybe.
It's going to hit something.
Pretty good here. Well, that's a great shot.
Got it right on the nose.
Yep. There's a double there, but that's a hard double. He could come down and red into red, but he has to hit it perfect in order to get the double. But the shot's there. They're looking at that. They're lining it up. You got to be a little careful here, though, because if you hit that red one just on the outside, what's going to happen is your yellow's going to bounce and probably roll off, and that red is going to stick around. And then you'll be shooting, and then there'll be a draw for 3.
I was going to say the shooter will roll out.
Yep, the shooter will roll out. That red one will jam against the yellow and bounce a little bit, and then this is a very accurate shot. It has to hit that red stone pretty much head on in order to get the double. It's Roy Wasecki with his final stone for Stevens Point. Doesn't want to hit this on the outside. Don't want to hit this on the outside.
If he hits it, it's going to be the outside.
Oh boy. Oh, he left. Oh my, that's even worse. Now there's a draw for 4.
Yes, there is.
Yep, you have to hit that shot just right to get the double, and the one way you didn't want to hit it was on the outside, and that's exactly what happened. This could make for a tie game here. Big change in events. Straight up draw for 4. Red sitting, that looks like a red sitting 3, yeah?
I would say 3.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. So he's just got to draw anywhere in the house, anywhere in the rings, and he'll get 4. He's got 3 now. He's got to draw into the rings to get his 4. Looks kind of heavy.
The sweepers are chasing it. That's
is he
not
going
a
after this yellow one? Is that what he's doing?
He's going for 5.
Oh, I think you're right. And I think he got it.
I see 5 red ones touching.
Yeah, I think that was a good shot. That was a good call and a good shot. I didn't see that one coming. The risk with that one is he could have knocked it in. But, so with that, quite a change in events here. After 3 ends, the Red Bucket Brigade of Kettle Moraine scores 5, making the score 5-4. Kettle Moraine 5, Stevens Point 4 after 3 ends.
It'll be interesting to see what Stevens Point does with the hammer finally.
Yep. Now we get to see Stevens Point with the hammer. Scoreboard behind there showing the score of 5-4. And I think they're looking for a center guard here. Typical first shot without the hammer. Over curling a bit.
A little heavy.
And a little heavy. Yep. And leaks out the back. So let's see what kind of strategy. Well, there we go. Stevens Point calling for a corner guard. The guard set off to the side. Typical first shot when you're wanting to play offense with the hammer. You want to put up 1 or more guards on the side so you can draw around those guards later and keep the center open. Without the hammer, you usually want to play to the center. So this one's a little bit outside. It's going to leak into the house. Just behind the tee line. So Kettle Moraine looking to take advantage of that. Draw right down to it. If they can make this shot, it's great, but you don't want to be light because then you just give the other team a guard. This is coming in nicely. Appears a little heavy. Just tick it a bit. Yeah, it's going to remove it from play. Oh, or is it a biter? Hard to say from our angle. So calling here either in the house or a corner guard. This will still be considered a free guard under the 5-rock free guard rule. Meaning if it's above the rings, it can't be removed from play. It can be moved around, but it can't be removed from play. But this is going to leak in, and that's okay. That makes Kettle Moraine have to do something with it, and they're going to choose to hit it. Toss that looks a little wide. See how it comes in here. Oh, it's coming back. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Well, I'm thinking about this one a bit. And we're in a game of hit here now. If we get hit and stick, we're probably going to see multiple hits in a row. Well, looks like that's going to pass by on the inside here. Oh, yeah, clipped it out. Back to where we started. The yellow rock in the back, don't think it's a biter, but it can still come into play.
And I'm hoping that red, there we go, red is signaling they want to get a stone in front of it.
Yep.
And that's a smart play.
Yep. Play to that side, because then if it's has to be taken out, you might get a jam on that yellow stone in the back.
What you don't want to do is throw it through. Want it up in front.
Yep, you want it in play for sure. Had to curl a bit here. It's gonna go through here, Mark.
Maybe I jinxed him. I didn't mean to.
You should have waited to the end of the shot. Then it would have made it. Kind of same strategy for both teams, drawing in on that side so that if somebody takes it out, it catches in the back.
That one needs to curl a ton.
Needs to curl, needs to slow down a little bit too. I still think they're having trouble with our fast ice here in Portage. So if you go to some kind of national event like Nationals, men's and women's nationals, that was in New Jersey last week, you'll find the ice speed is what we call 14 seconds or better. In New Jersey it was about 14.2 to 14.4 typically. And that's fast ice. And you want about 4 to 5 feet of curl, and that's pretty much what we've got here in Portage and pretty much what we've had all year. Now they want to pull this one in. I'll pull this one into the rings.
There we go.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Just biting, but that's good enough. Makes the jam possible here if they choose to take it out. And they're not going to, it went back so far, they're just going to draw down and try to draw down to it. And they were ahead by 4, but now Stevens Point's behind by 1, so this is a better shot. They have a better chance of scoring multiples with the hammer. Draw into that pocket. Oh boy, they got to pound this one hard. They're going to have to pound this one hard to get it there. They really have to drag it. They really have to drag it. And they do. Good sweeping. Good sweeping, drag the stone that far. And we're going to look to take this one out. Boy, that one looked like it went out wide. We'll see if it comes back here. It's coming back. Oh, boy, he didn't have enough weight on it there, Mark.
He threw just through the house weight, and it's going to curl a bunch.
Yeah, it just curled a whole bunch because it wasn't enough weight. And it just curled right by. Looked wide, but actually was light. So Stevens Point going to look to split the house now. Put a yellow rock on the other side. Be sitting 2. Get in a takeout game to take 2 this end. I got to pound this one too. Holy cow. I don't think this one's going to make it. And he did that one to be in. Moraine has to do something with that yellow rock as it is shot. They could choose to draw in or something, but a better thing to do here is get rid of it. Try to roll in so they're sitting 2.
They're playing the same turn as they played the last time, and so he's gonna have to have pretty good weight to overcome the curl.
Let's just skip Pete Tomes with his first rock. Going to need more weight than his vice had there. Looks like he has more weight there. But, they're trying to sweep the whole of the line again. They don't want to jam. You don't want to jam that yellow into the red in the back. Yeah, be careful. Oh, they got the jam. But it's going to roll out. And how does it look here? Oh, that's a good shot. They are not sitting 2. They ended up sitting 1. Just barely biting. So Stevens Point, the Point Prodigies, Skip Roy Wasecki, he's going to look to draw behind that yellow corner guard on the right the way it looks. Get one buried behind there that Kettle Moraine can't get at. That'll force Kettle Moraine to play a draw and sets up a possible 2 for Stevens Point. Playing the draw. Sweepers are on it, meaning they think it's light. Also worried about the line here. Don't want it to hit that yellow one. Want it to go behind it. This is looking pretty nice. This is looking like a good shot here, Mark.
He's drawing in right behind that long guard.
Yep.
That's a great draw,
yep,
right?
That's a good shot. He is behind the tee. Slightly exposed. And it's exposed enough like he's going to try to hit it the way it looks. Did not get totally buried. You can see here from this angle. So with the right weight shot, I'd say we're looking for what we'd say is control weight hit, a lightweight hit.
I call that a teaser. It's half visible, but it breaking a lot. If he lightens up just a little bit, that shooting stone's going to roll over.
They're sweeping this. They want to make sure they miss that guard. Oh, they're right on the guard. Oh, they're almost going to get the run back here. Gotta be careful. Oh, if it jams here. Oh my. Now they can set up a 3.
Now that is bad luck. That is just pure bad luck.
Oh, it's a straight draw for 3. Oh my. That's pretty bad luck.
And that's what some of the fun of this game.
I wouldn't know if that's fun or not, but that's part of what happens in this game. Sometimes I say if you end up with a shot like that, you probably should have went to church last Sunday. Something's warring against you. So, I think he should be playing just a straight draw here.
He just threw a real nice draw. He should just have to,
same shot again.
Repeat.
Just to repeat the same shot he just threw. Make sure he's in the rings to get 3. I think he set the broom to try to use that one as backing, but he's fine. His weight looks good here. He's just fine. He's got good draw weight, so. That looks like 3. That looked like 3 to you, Mark?
It sure does.
Looks like 3 to me. So that'll be 3 for Stevens Point. And after 4 ends, that'll make the score 7-5. Stevens Point 7 with the Yellow Rocks. Kettle Moraine 5 with the Red Rocks.
All set up because the skip made a very nice draw, partially buried behind a long guard.
Yep.
And leads to good things.
Yep. The teaser shot. Yep. That kind of shot, though, you have to make a decision when you're throwing against a shot that's half buried like that. Do you want to try to hit it and take it out, or try to draw one in? And it teases you into making one or the other. And then if you miss, the tease worked. Looking for a center guard here. With a lead of 2, still going to need to score with 4 ends to go. And that's, oh, is that going to leak in? Oh.
They're checking it.
That's perfect. Perfect. Just an inch or 2 outside the rings. Depending on the club, and how much curl there is, that might be considered too close. But that, and with portage ice right now, that guard's just fine. You can get totally buried behind that guard. Another draw behind the center guard here. Difference in strategy here between the two teams. Kettle Moraine with the hammer deciding to attempt to draw behind the center guard, and they're a bit light here. It looks like this is going to hog. Oh boy, what does it look like here? Yeah, it did hog. We can't quite see out to that line with the camera, so. So Point playing a kind of a draw behind the center game with the hammer, and Kettle Moraine playing the corner guards with the hammer, which worked well for him the last end. Looking to draw behind that center guard now. This is Jerome Meredith with his second shot. Oh, this is coming in nicely. Oh, that's a nice shot. That is a nice pair of shots from a lead. Center guard and draw right behind. That guard on top cannot be removed from play. It's a free guard. Oh, Kettle Moraine going to look to freeze on that back rock. You see this shot called a lot at the elite level when this situation occurs.
They try to stack them up.
Yeah, they try to stack them up. You know, her shot's looking pretty nice here. Little tap is just fine. Oh, look at that. That's a nice shot. That's a nice shot.
Very well.
Very well done.
Yes. And Stevens Point can come right back with it.
And you got to do the same thing. Yeah, same. He's calling the same shot. Calling the same shot. That would be freeze to it or a little tap, which is the same shot that was just called. Either one works. Freeze is a better shot. Bit wide here, maybe a bit heavy. So coming back, boy, we got a lot of curl here in Portage. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. That curled what? 2.5 feet after the hog line there, Mark?
It curled quite a ways.
Oh my God, that was a lot of curl. It's a beautiful thing if you're a curler when you got sheets that have that kind of curl and consistent curl like we have here too. So
I'm a curler on arena ice, and we often don't have that kind of curl.
Yeah. I don't envy you. So in arena ice, meaning you're turning a hockey arena ice into curling, there's a huge difference in quality of ice. as opposed to a, say, a dedicated facility like we have here in Portage. Wouldn't seem it, but there's a lot of difference between hockey ice and curling ice. So that shot flashed. Now the house is kind of looking kind of nice here for the Stephen Point, the Point Prodigies. They can look to guard up that stone they got in the 4-foot. So this is Chris Lefebvre, second, with his second stone. Looking to put up that guard. And it's looking like it's over curling here, Mark. So might as well drag it in if that's the case. And that's kind of what they're doing.
That's exactly. It's going to get behind the behind that guard again.
That's a hell of a B shot.
Oh.
I think they were looking to guard it, but it over curled and it's lined up very nice now for Stevens Point with the yellow rocks. There's no double there, and if you get the hit and roll here, there's a simple run back for yellow into the buried red rock. So this is a nice setup for Stevens Point right now. Put the pressure on to Kettle Moraine. Yep. Boy, you got to be careful. Oh, and maybe that's
got a little touch on the front one.
Yep.
So they didn't get a roll.
Kind of over curled, but it worked out reasonably okay. But there's a simple hit here now for Stevens Point.
Not giving him much room.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight broom.
Yeah, that's kind of normal weight. Normal weight takeout broom. You got to be careful in Portage ice; it'll over curl on you. I think that's what's happening. He didn't give much room, and he was light. Yeah, it's over curling. Yeah, it's over curling. It's gonna go through the hole here.
I got a little chick.
Oh wow! Oh, in football that'd be 3 points, but in curling it's nothing. That was a case, I think, of not enough room for the weighted takeout shot on this ice, on Portage ice right now. So it's shot rock. So Kettle Moraine, Red Bucket Brigade, gonna look to guard this up. Sit shot.
And this one's curling.
Oh, this one's over curling too. They better see if they can drag this in. Or get a bounce here. They can get the right bounce. Oh, they got a beauty bounce. Look at that. Can't get the guard one way and get it the other way.
Good plan B.
Well, the other thing does there, Mark, is it exposes that other yellow one. That yellow one in the 4-foot is now slightly exposed such that Kettle Moraine can get at that. Got to do some thinking about what's the best shot here. He can take this red and go ahead, and he's going to try to either run it back or get the double.
There's that little broom again.
Yep, very tight broom. Very tight broom for Portage ice.
That's big weight.
Very tight broom for Portage ice. Then he has to be careful. Yep, look at that. Look at it dive there, Mark, huh?
Be lucky to even hit it.
Yep.
Well,
no, you got to get rid of it, so they have to put the guard back up.
Yep.
Maybe this time a guard without getting a tick. So let's see if he puts enough broom here. Here's the thing. You're looking at his broom here. He's calling for about 4 feet of curl with that broom. And it's curling closer to 5 feet right now, I would say.
I don't think he's making the correct adjustment, just as you're pointing out.
Although I think this throw was just a hair outside, and that's going to work in their favor. Because I think they're going to be able to sweep this one into position. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Not bad. Another teaser shot there, Mark.
It's got a little bit of that redstone.
We got the teasers going here.
Sticking out. That you think he can get to it.
Yep. You got the teasers going. And you know what the thing is with this teaser is if you miss it, if you're a little narrow, you could run that red right into the yellow. And then the next thing you know, they're sitting 2. I don't think he's getting teased. He's going to come right down and try to freeze against that one the way it looks.
With where the third's holding the broom, it looks like it is a draw shot to the button.
Interesting.
To the shot rock. Yep.
Yep. Looks like he's going to try to come right down to that. I don't think he can get enough weight though to tap it back so it's out of shot. That's going to be pretty tough. Not with that broom anyway. That broom, he's about 4.5 feet of curl. With broom. That's what he's talking about with his teammates there. He's talking about freezing on it. It's a good defensive shot. It makes it hard for Kettle Moraine to get 2. If he makes it, it's a tough shot though. The freeze is the toughest shot in curling. Wouldn't seem that way, but it is. Everything has to be perfect with the freeze. This is coming in pretty nice. This is coming in pretty nice. He's going to bump it in just a hair. Kind of sets up a hit and roll off that yellow one that just bounced off. I don't know if they see that, Mark. They don't see the hit and roll there. Oh, now they're looking at it. Okay. You don't want to touch that red one.
Red one's in a good position.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that. So I think they are looking at the hit and roll. Looks like about hack weight with that broom. Would you say, Mark, hack weight or?
Yeah, he's a couple feet out there, so that would be hack weight.
Yeah. Meaning throwing the stone so that it would stop approximately at the hack at the other end. And if he hits it right with hack weight, he'll get the roll. Oh, it's coming in here.
Here it goes.
Be careful it doesn't overcurl.
There it goes. On his guard.
Oh, my. Oh. How did that end up here? Oh, boy. A little bit of a teaser here again. If you're going to come after that red shot rock, he was narrow.
This is a very dangerous shot.
Yep.
For Stevens Point to attempt.
I agree.
Lots of bad things can happen.
Yep.
And they're in a good position if they can hold Kettle Moraine to one.
That's right.
One red, and if they try to pound on that, that their yellow second shot is going to go away.
Yep. This is a big teaser shot because if he goes after the shot rock and he misses it, it'll be red into yellow, and probably red will be sitting 2. Let's see what they're talking about here. So I think Markey's
coming with the other turn.
He's coming with the out turn.
Yep.
And Leakey's looking to plug up the hole.
I think, yep, he's protecting his second shot.
Yeah, protecting his
second shot.
Trying to
force him to one.
Yep, force him to one. Smart call. This is a smart call. Also leaves some room for error with his shot. He doesn't need the perfect guard to make this work.
Just needs to stop it in front of the house.
And not over curl.
Oh, and it's curling like a banshee.
Curl. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that's a good shot. Yep. Yeah, there's still a shot for two. Come and run that red into the yellow. There, they're looking at that, running that red into the yellow.
When they get down to the other end, that port's going to look lots narrower than it looks.
I don't know if they can hurt themselves here, though. I think this is a relatively low-risk shot. In other words, I don't think too many bad things can happen. If they crash on something, they'll still get their one. But there's a potential three in play here.
And on the guard.
They're going to crash, but that shouldn't really do any damage. So, that's another way to do it. That's another way to do it.
Well, I got two that way.
Yep. Didn't see that coming. But that's two red. And that'll bring us up to a tie game after 5 ends, 7-7.
Plan B worked.
Yeah, and that was a plan B. I don't know if that was really their plan B, but it ended up being plan B. Like I said, I don't think they could do themselves harm there. But that shot was there too.
Well, hitting it the other way, what they had called, it had to give him a possibility for three. So.
Yep, that's right. Now this is interesting. Without the hammer, they're looking to play to the side. Usually without hammer, you want to play to the center, but they're asking for a shot to the side. If you do this, you want to be in the house because you don't want to give the other team a corner guard. It's curling so far.
Still in, but not
in
counted.
Play. Not really a guard. Could be used for an offside or something later, but now you see Roy Wasecki of Stevens Point kind of calling the same shot because he wants a guard. He wants it above the house, off to the side, which is a corner guard, so he can draw around that later and set up 2 or 3 with the hammer. Coming in nicely. And be careful not to be too heavy. Prefer not to go in, but it's going to leak into the house here. That's okay. That's the B shot for that particular shot. So Kettle Moraine looking to draw down to it. You don't want to be short here. If you're short, you give a guard to the other team. So you want to make sure you're there. You want to make sure you're either down there or a little heavy so you bump it. Don't want to be short. Well, that went over. Looks like it's light. They're just going to look to let this come into the house so it's in play. Stevens Point, Point Prodigies, Roy Wasecki calling to take this rock out of play. Go ahead and hit and stick. Setting up a game of hitting. If he hits and sticks here, you gotta be careful he doesn't get a jam. Oh, he's gonna roll off. So there you go. You hear Peter Tomes calling to make sure that you come down and either freeze on it or tap it out. Don't be light. You don't want to be light and leave them a guard. Calling sweep for line. Oh, it's curling hard here. Curling hard. And it's going to go right by.
Yeah. Give Stevens Point an opportunity to get another stone in play.
Yeah. Yeah, they're discussing whether to go to the side or put it up. And they decided on the guard. And I think that's the right call. Because if you're short, it's a guard. If you leak in a little bit, well, that's a double, but it's doubles are tough. So you got an A and a B shot here. This isn't curling over enough, though. If it's not curling over enough, you want it to leak into the house. You want it to be shot. No. No. Unfortunately, that does is that gives Kettle Moraine a chance to hit and roll behind the guard.
And they're hitting, but I don't think they're going to get a roll.
No, they're going to get a roll, but the wrong way. Yep, they're going to roll out the other way. You wanted to hit that on the other side and roll under the guard, so. So they're talking about maybe throwing a split here. And that's where you would take and hit that yellow rock there and split both rocks on.
I kind of like that call. That's a very offensive call.
But what they decided to just draw behind. What's nice about this shot is that if you're narrow, you get the split by default. So if they're close to the, so I think they're actually gonna get buried. So that works too. There's an A-B shot there, because if that would have been a little narrower, they would have split them on. So. Good call. Now we're trying to clean things up. Stevens Point. And just try to remove that top rock, peel it off. A double peel would be great. Yeah, they're close to that. No, a little off. Be nice if that rolled on. It doesn't. But useful as a guard later. Maybe. Kind of far out for a guard. Off to the side there. Okay. So this rock is not quite into the 4 foot.
I kind of like the idea of a second shot is just as good or better than a guard.
Yeah. They're looking to split the house.
Especially when they have the hammer.
Yeah, they're looking to split the house now. I think with the rock in the particular position it's in, splitting is a good call. Because to tap it back, you leave a pretty easy double. Just got to make sure this is in the house. So the sweepers are on this hard. Want it to be in the house. Don't want to leave it short.
And he did.
And it is short, so. So Kettle Moraine, they're going to hit this. A nice thing would be to roll under the guard.
A little bit of discussion about where the broom's placed. That's kind of interesting.
Oh boy, this has got to come over a little bit. So you're going to get a piece. No, just nix it. So now that yellow one that's short is kind of useful there, Mark. It's a corner guard.
It's a very good corner guard.
Very nice corner guard. So you can draw behind that. So and that's what they're going to do. They're looking to go ahead and draw behind that.
I like this call a lot.
This is a good offensive call. It's a Stave call, the vice for Stevens Point with his third shot. Oh, this is looking like it's going to crash.
Well, it might get a little roll back over as a guard.
Yeah, roll it over on top of the. Whoa. Oh, left a teaser shot. Oh, kind of rolled right back. Did you see that little roll back there, Mark?
It kind of backtracked.
kind of backtracked right into the right spot. It doesn't look totally buried from this angle, but it's pretty much totally buried.
Well, the way this ice is bending with that back of the house to hack weight, you can bump this one back. It takes a precise shot, but
and the B shot here is to tick that guard out of the way.
That is the you want to be the pro side to move that guard if you're going to miss. You don't want to miss wide, for
but
sure.
You don't want to hit it too thick because you'll knock it into the house. You got to be careful. So there is a B shot of just ticking that yellow guard on top and moving it over so you can get at that yellow one in the back. But they're actually going to push this yellow one in the back.
Well, he's taking plenty of room.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, that's got to come back a long ways. And it's got to come back a long ways.
Hear the vice calling, let it curl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had to come back. What you didn't want to do there is be wide like that, because you didn't touch either one of the stones. You wanted to make contact with one of them, one of the other yellows. You wanted to make contact.
He had just through the house weight. He had the good weight.
Yeah.
Just didn't get to the broom. And that is a problem for many, many curlers, including me.
So Roy Wasecki of Stevens Point looking to go ahead and draw behind both yellows. Roy's had pretty good draw weight this game. Maybe I don't want to speak too soon here, but in general, he's had pretty good draw weight. Probably want to let this one go back, because you don't want to give him something to freeze against. Just make him draw against two now.
That's not a bad stone.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not a bad stone. Still leaves him possibility of 3. And being this is the 6th end, a 3 spot is a big score. Even a 2 spot.
Peter Tomes with his last rock for the Red Bucket Brigade from Kettle, Moraine. Gonna look here. Needs to bury this one. Bury it behind the yellow. Does not want to be exposed at all because he doesn't want to leave Stevens Point a chance to remove the rock for 2 or 3. Oh, they're sweeping hard for line here. Boy, you don't want to knock that yellow one in there. They're going to bounce off it just a little bit. That's going to leave a draw for 3. Yep, didn't want to be narrow on that. Straight draw for 3 by Roy Wasecki.
Great chance for Stevens Point.
Yep. Stevens Point with the hammer in the 6th end, an even end. Always good to have the hammer in an even end. Looking to take 3 here. Nice sweepers there cleaning the path for him. Get any junk out of the way so the stone doesn't pick. And if Roy keeps up his nice draw weight, they should be in good shape here. Needs to make it to the house. Looking good. Boy, he's got nice draw weight. Skip's got to have draw weight in his back pocket. Of all the players, a Skip has to have his draw weight. Look at that. That's a beauty. So that'll be 3. A score of 3 for Stevens Point, the Point Prodigies. And that'll bring the score to 10-7 after 6 ends, with 2 ends to go. And Kettle Moraine will have the hammer in the 7th end.
It'll be interesting to see where Stevens Point puts their first stone, whether they're going to put it up front or put it in the house.
Yep.
Make them play in the scoring area or leave something that the Kettle Moraine team can come around on.
Put up our roster here again of the players for each team as they're getting ready to shoot. Stevens Point, team name Point Prodigies. Kettle Moraine's team name the Red Bucket Brigade.
And they're playing in the house.
Lead of 3, they're playing it in the house. That's a good strategy. If you play all your rocks in the house and play a hit game, it's hard. It's hard for the other team to catch up. The other team needs guards. So I think Pete Tomes called this one in the house on the side. Probably be to their advantage if it's actually a little short.
The way this ice is curling, that could curl right off the sheet.
Yeah, just like that last one, that one she threw in the last end. It's doing that again. It's doing that same thing as the last end. She threw that same shot and ended up way off to the side. In play, but probably isn't going to be used for much of anything. So Roy Wasecki calling for a guard, saying a guard's okay. Really, they'd like to tap it with a lead. 2 ends to go. You really like to have some rocks in the house to make the other team chase after you. Yeah, come down and tap this just a little. That's fine. That's fine. It gets to the point now where Kettle Moraine just, they can't ignore it. They got to do something with it. The double's there, but if they make the double, they'll just be sitting there and then we'll be in a hitting game.
That one's going to curl.
Oh boy, that one's going to curl right. She might get a piece of that one there. Oh, she got a piece. Oh, and it's going to stay in play. That's nice. Unfortunately, that red corner guard isn't there.
Well, we'll see what the Stevens Point skip wants to do. He's going to play the hit, looks like. He's got the choice to put another stone in on the other side.
Yeah, the conservative shot here is to play the hit.
That broom's awful narrow.
Yep. He is playing the in-out. So he is playing the in-out. The in-out is always harder to predict. But he's going to get it here. He's going to stick around, I think. Oh, nope, he's going to roll out. He's going to roll out. Yep.
Well, he got the job done. Got that red rock out of there.
Rolling out's not that bad when you're ahead, because then there's nothing to freeze to for the other team. Now, for Kettle Moraine here being down 3, they need points. They need a lot. They need at least 2 this end to win the game, to reasonably have a shot at winning the game. And it's hard to get 2 if you play a takeout game.
I think that's part of the learning curve of these 5 and under curlers.
Yeah.
As they get a little bit more experience, they'll realize that if they're going to play the hit game, they got to play the down weight hit game.
Yeah.
And again, 5 and under curlers, it's a learning process for the future.
And here we have point calling. Skip Roy called for a guard, but it's going to end up in, and in is better when you're ahead. Once again, it forces the other team to chase you. If you put up a guard, the other team can just draw around it, and then you got to do something. But he leaked all the way through. As weird as it sounds, that's not a bad shot either. You just don't want any shots, rocks in play. If you want it in play, you want it in the house when you're up 3 without the hammer with 2 ends to go. So here, looking to put one in off to the side. You may be in the house. Guard would be okay too here. Looking a little heavy. Is it going to stick around? Nope. So this is a good-looking house for Stevens Point without the hammer. No rocks in play. So, same calls last time. Call for a guard. In's okay. In's better.
They're going to have to go hard on this one.
Yeah, you want this one in.
Good sweepers. They're trying.
That's fine.
All right. Well done, sweepers.
Still, but you can see even though it's in the house, it's not deep enough in the house, And sure enough, Kettle Moraine, they're just going to try to draw right behind it. They need points. They need guards. They need points. Oh, this is cutting hard. This is going to go around the other side of the yellow. So, that one's short and off to the side, so Stevens Point will go ahead and look to draw right around. Same shot that Kettle Moraine was trying to make on the last shot. Same exact shot. This one's cutting hard too. Looks like it just maybe get a little tap.
They might get a little raise on their own.
Just a little
it
tap.
Gets there.
Yeah, it's actually light. So once again, we get the same shot, 3 shots in a row. Draw around those 2 yellows. Now if they do get around these, it's a relatively easy shot for Stevens Point, because those two yellows are lined up in what we call loaded gun. You just hit one, it'll hit the other and get whatever behind them. It's a little wide here, but it's cutting so hard. Not really buried. I don't know if that's a teaser or not. Is that a teaser, Mark?
No, it's not a teaser.
I don't think that's a teaser.
No.
That's a pretty easy hit if you wanna hit and get rid of it.
But they're tapping for a draw. And I think
tight broom. You think?
Well, I'm thinking that he's kind of playing the in-betweener. Between the draw, they tap for the draw, but if he's the weight, the broom weight looks like it's going to be a bump.
Yeah, I would say so. With that broom, that's broom showing just 4 feet of curl. We're curling here closer to 5, especially on that path. But Roy has had such good draw weight this game. I think he's playing to his strength here. But look at how far look at that cutting mark, huh?
That is definitely draw weight.
Cut, and it's short. Definitely didn't want to be short. Well, yeah, now he's got a triple loaded gun.
There's some interesting physics in those 3 stones if they get hit right.
The one physics things a lot of curlers don't account for is that's over 120 pounds of rock there. So if you're gonna go bang, 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 you really gotta hit with a lot of weight. Anyway, that would be the next shot. Let's see where this one ends up. So Pete Tome's going to look and try to draw behind those yellows.
And he's got the same broom that...
Yep, and he took the same broom.
that Stevens Point took.
Yep, same broom. And that looks narrow right out of the hack. Boy.
And there's the sweep call.
Yeah, and they're sweeping on it right away. That looked narrow right away. Yep. Hey, really got to go here.
They got it by.
Well, who are we to judge? We're not out on the ice.
But now the loaded gun comes into play. If the Stevens Point skip wants to do that.
If he wants to do that for the tap, but he just has a drawdown to those, which he's been making.
Quite a pocket there, yes.
Draws. So he just draw down into those 2 and he can hold them to 1. Come home with the hammer up 2. With hammer. Whoops. Okay. All right. Taking another look at it here. See where the broom is. Now, that broom's in the same place as the last time.
You must be throwing a little bit more weight.
Yeah, I hope so. Had quite a few crashes on this side. All of those yellows ended up in the same spot with that same broom, so. Oh, he took less broom. He must be throwing a little more weight, eh? Single line's word, good's got to work over. These do move hard at the end. Oh my. That sets up a draw for 3. Gonna have a tie game here in the 10th end. Oh, the 8th end. What am I saying? Sorry.
You're still playing at the National.
Yeah. Sorry, I spent a week out in New Jersey last week watching 10-end games.
Spiels are going back from 10 to 8 ends.
Yeah, especially the Canadian slams and those things. There's been talk of taking all competitive curling games back to 8 ends. A little better on TV time for that. Fits better into 2 hours. Oh boy, he needs to make this draw. Looks pretty good.
Settles in nicely.
Yep, and that'll be 3. 3 for Kettle Moraine, bringing her score after 7 ends, 10 to 10. So we have one more end. There will be a winner. No extra ends. We have a tie score.
I've actually played a 12-end game.
Well, kind of like those broadcast guys who used to call them that call themselves a 12th end network. You know those guys? They did the broadcasts at the Nationals for many years, and they called themselves the 12th end network because they ended up playing at 12th end once.
We tied it in the 10th.
Yep.
And the stone rolled out in the 11th, so we had to play the 12th.
Yep.
And I lost.
Lost in 12. All right. Well, definitely need a guard here. Definitely need a guard.
It's the importance of having the hammer in the later ends.
Oh boy, she threw a nice one here. Look at that. She gonna leak in? Oh, she just leaked in. Oh, that's too bad.
Good try, though.
Good try. Thing here is, if they elect to take this out and they jam, it ends up being a guard. So right here, looking to be the first to the 4-foot, and then make everybody chase him. Usually the strategy is to keep everything clean if you have the hammer, so you have an easy shot at the end for the win. And as we talked about earlier, that shot has to be perfect if you want it to work. It works okay for Stevens Point because it's nice to have a rock in the house later in case you have to hit and roll out. Calling for a draw behind here, another guard would be nice. Another guard would be nice here. You need multiple guards in the last end without the hammer in a tie game to win. Like to have some free guards, but this is going to leak in. It is going to be shot rock. If we look at it here overhead, yeah, it's shot rock, but of course that's going to be hit. That's going to be calling for control weight. That's kind of a tight room for control weight on this ice. I think he did throw it a little outside.
The Stevens Point leads had to throw too.
Yep.
But he's got it made.
Oh, that's pretty nice. It's gonna roll far, but still they're gonna be sitting 2 now. They only need 1 to win. Don't need to sit multiples.
It's rolled off to the side where it doesn't do Kettle Moraine much good.
Yep.
We'll see what he does.
Oh, he's gonna take it out. That's kind of weird. Okay. Kettle Moraine needs to be trying to draw behind their guards. And putting up guards so they've got something at the end. So they removed that rock, but now that red one there could just be removed. Just get rid of it. Stevens Point talking about this now. Talking about opening it up. Leave the draw for later. That's what they're going to do. Would say this is the right shot.
If they get a nice little roll, they can roll in again.
Yep. Little roll off to the side would be good. That looks like what they're going to get here. Ah, that's great. That's a great shot.
That's some insurance.
That's nice. That makes things tough now. You get to the point now where you're playing the freeze game. When you play the freeze game, you're trying to freeze down to the opponent's rock. He's behind the tee. You have to make the shot perfect. And even if you make it perfect, usually it can be doubled off. Freeze is toughest shot in curling. Everything has to be right. Line, weight, everything perfect. Yep, just want that red one to go away. Keep the house clean of your opponent's rocks when you got the hammer. And be careful about the jam here. Just going to miss the jam.
But it does give Kettle Moraine an opportunity to come around.
Yep, now they got something to draw behind. I don't think this helps them, Mark. Not unless the red sits there, and then that. Be best if they hit this straight on and stick right there, right like that. Oh, they get a double. Double's nice. Now they're actually shot rock, but there is still another yellow off to the side there. That's an insurance rock, yeah. That comes into play later if there's one red left in the house, you just need to hit and roll off so you still have a counter. So once again, Stevens Point is going to look to remove the remove the red rock. Prefer to remove and just roll out of the way here. You don't really want to stick around, which is what's going to happen. You get rid of it, but essentially you replace the guard with the guard. Okay, you got to start coming around this, guys.
I think he heard you.
Did he, or is he calling a takeout here?
No, he's throwing draw away.
Okay. They had to wait for it to bend there. You have to wait for it to start curling. Now, if they can get this in for shot, which they did, that kind of forces Stevens Point to waste a rock on this. They have to remove this, but if they get lucky, they'll get rid of the other one. But it looks like they're just going to stick around, and now they have an even bigger wall, you could say. I think you want to draw behind the center guard here.
He's coming behind the corner guard.
Coming behind the corner, well, that would, okay. On top of everything else, the corner guard's loaded. See how that's lined up like that? If he gets behind there, those two yellows on the right, if he gets behind there, all they have to do is hit one of those yellows and the second yellow will run right into it. The more traditional shot here would be to go behind the center guard, but it's drawing behind a guard. You just got to get behind the guards to make Stevens Point make a play on you. Whoa. That's going to go right through. It's been a fast end. A lot of takeouts. Makes for a quick end. Fairly simple shots. Not a lot of discussion. Now with this particular configuration, I'd like to see that center guard go away, Mark.
I agree 100% with you.
Because this draw can go bad on you.
That center guard needs to go away.
If he takes this draw and he ends up a little bit behind the tee, and then Kettle Moraine can come draw right down on top of it and maybe win the game. If he gets rid of that center guard, Kettle Moraine, all they have is to draw behind those corner guards. That's the only shot they would have. Then again, Roy's had really great draw weight this game. Wants to stay above the tee here. Wants to stay above the tee. Oh, he's going to leak behind. There we go. Mark, they're going to draw behind the center guard.
Moraine's got a chance.
They had a chance to get buried behind the center guard. Now, if they would have removed that yellow one right on the top, the shot wouldn't have been possible. But he's got to get buried. This is kind of ball game right here. He's got to get buried behind that yellow one. Can't be too heavy. No sweepers on it yet. It's slowing down. Oh, look at that. It's going to be behind the tee. That's
Came out the other side.
That's a teaser.
That's a teaser.
That's a teaser shot. But I think Roy's going to call in his draw weight here. He knew he just threw that last one a little heavy. When you're a skip throwing for the ball game, you like to throw 2 draws in a row. So you can adjust your second draw based on what happened on the first draw. He's throwing on exactly the same path. So this is for the game. Looks nice out of hand. We'll see if we got the sweepers on it here. Well, they got to pull this one. They got to pull it. They got to pull it. They got to pull it.
Unfortunately,
I think it's red. What a close game. What a close game.
Lots of rocks in play, lots of big scores. What a game.
That was a good game. Very close game. Fun game to call. And that means that Kettle Moraine, the Red Bucket Brigade, they will advance. This is a quarterfinal bracket in the A event. And they'll have to play a semifinal game too in order to get to the finals in the event.
Well, this has been fun, Steve.
Yep, this is fun. Been fun. Mark, thanks for commenting with me. And the remaining games, Sheet 3 games, will all be streamed here at the Portage Curling Club. The finals are tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And I'll be back with Tyler Callum, myself, Steve Riverstein, and Tyler will be announcing the finals game that starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Look forward to it.
So,
That sounds like a good time.
you betcha. So, thanks for y'all watching for this 5 and under event. And Mark, thanks for announcing the game with me here and so on. And we have a good evening. This is the last draw for the evening. And we'll say good evening from the Portage Girls.